tend to my wife, to my children. I want to play.
Or to my husband, because men and women podcast,
Yeah.
Gonna be one sided.
Yeah, definitely. But going back to the Bible and just how we were talking about, He wants us to love Him just like how He wants us to love Him and love others. Those are the main things He wants us to do. But going back to God, there's a segment I want to talk about, which is I want to call flex time.
Flex time.
Because when we think of the Bible, going back to expectations, actually, the expectation people have on Christians, the expectation people have on Christ is someone who's soft, who He let people do whatever He wanted to Him. But that's not the case. Because, actually, first, for those who don't know what flexing means, it pretty much means when you pretty much
You show out.
And you demonstrate your power.
Yes, sir.
Just like, let's just say LeBron dunks on someone and then he flexes get down.
Lame, but yeah.
But that's exactly what people think Christ or the Bible is for the weak. But that's a flex book. There's so many flexes in here. And this is what Flex Times is about to be. We're about to tell you a story, just one, of a flex that happened in the Bible. You have one or I have one?
Definitely. You go ahead, because I got one. As soon as you sent me this, I was like, I know which one.
Okay. So we're going to focus on this one?
Hey, we can start with yours. Go ahead. We can start with yours.
Okay, and the next week we can do yours?
Are we going to spend the whole time on this one story?
Yeah, and then we're going to bounce back and forth. And then next week, because there's so many, I want to focus on one, if you get what I mean.
I do, but it's like, I wish you would have said something, because this one was cool. Like,
you go then. It sounds like you're excited.
Okay, I don't know if it'll be that. Oh, my phone's going off. And back to your normally scheduled programming. We start with your story. You probably had it much more prepared. Go ahead, man.
Nah, you were excited.
You
so
probably know what verse, what area. I just know the book.
Well, the thing is too, we're just telling them the story. Mm-hmm. We don't got to be like in First Corinthians.
Okay. I figure we could be more accurate. But basically, and it might tie into yours. So if it does, just jump in there.
All right.
Basically, right? God is going through His ministry. Jesus is our God, going through His ministry. And He was walking down the road one day, and there was these two men, right? And they were blind. They could not see. They were like, there was just an ultimate flex. I think they were blind, because I got to brush up on it. That's why I said we should have went with yours. But I'm pretty sure they were blind through some sort of demonic presence. Like, this whole book is just about Jesus walking through, doing like just His Jesus-ly stuff. Like look at me, I'm Jesus. But He wasn't flexing. He was. But neededly, He was just that powerful that He just walked through and things happened. Mm-hmm. And so I remember He walked through and the demons inside of them trembled, and He asked them, like, is it our time? Like, what are you doing here? Is it time? Like, it's not, we have more time, basically. Like, the fact that you just walk up and demons get scared of you, that's the coolest thing ever.
He came up rocking like he was the Rock. When they saw him, they were just like, oh no.
And the fact that it wrote trembling. You know how much it takes for a person to tremble? That's fear. Mm-hmm. That's straight fear.
Yeah, I mean, that is a flex. Like just walking up to someone and them just shaking. Like, is it our time? Like,
but it gets better. I just like the fact, because this is one of the coolest miracles Jesus has ever done, in my opinion, because of the way He said it. Jesus is a smooth talking brother. Like, they go to they follow Him, and they're in this room, right? And they're blind, and He's like, can you make us see? And He basically asked them, like, do you believe in me? Or like, do you believe I have the power to let you see? And they was like, yeah. He said, so become what you believe. And they was like, bet. And he started seeing. He started seeing. Like, their eyes just started working. Imagine how cool that is. Like, he didn't like, ooh. It was just like, do it. Like, get about the business. Like, do you not know who I am? Mm-hmm. That was just one of the coolest stories to me, because it's like, He just walks down the street and people just know who He is. Like, talk about a flex. Like, forget a car. If I can just walk up and be like, so you needed something? You think I can do it? It's done. It just go off. Forget a mob boss. I had to make no phone call. I had to do nothing.
He was the one.
He was the one. That's absolutely.
Within seconds too. It's just like.
He's just like, Oh, for real? Oh, yeah. All right, bet. That's what vision looks like. All I had to do was just believe it. And that's crazy because, like, that specific verse, I think it's such a flex because it's like, honestly, it's not just with eyesight. We're going through all sorts of stuff, especially with this stupid virus and everything that's been going through. If you really want, like, things to get better, like, yeah, it's not just going to be like snap, crackle, and pop always because there's a bigger plan at play, but it's like, you believe he can do it. Believe he can do it. It's going to get there, you know, if it's in his will, which I guess for them, it was in his will. They saw it. So, yeah, that's one of the most ultimate flexes in the Bible to me.
Mm-hmm. And I think I'll share mine too, and I think now, our guests that we do have come, they could share theirs. So everyone's going to come with a different flex. But since we're starting off with just us two, we could both share our flexes that we like in the Bible. All right. Well, I like yours, but mine, I mean, Jesus is cold. Like, pretty much. Let me tell you the story. And we all know the story, but I don't know if you know how significant it is with the flex. So pretty much, Jesus knows he's about to die, that the people are about to turn on him, and he's just sitting there eating normally, like not like pretty much just having a conversation like me and Keon are having right now, and the people come bursting in the door, grab him, and he's letting it all happen. His disciples even say, "Oh, we're about to fight." One of his disciples, Peter, cuts off someone's ear, and he's just like, "No." He grabs the person's ear, puts it back on, heals him, and then lets people continue beating him. And when I'm talking about beating him, I mean they beat him. The whole city. Just imagine the whole city just coming to beat you, and you did nothing. And they're calling their friends, they're calling their dogs, they're calling their babies. Everyone just after him, and he's letting it happen.
You got a point.
And then he just lets it happen, and then they put him on a cross, making sure he's dead, thinking they won.
For his clothes.
Yeah, thinking they won. They're just celebrating like, yeah, we showed this guy, and it's not even done. And Jesus let this happen to go down to hell, just to flex on Satan and say, oh, you thought. I'm
gonna snatch them up real quick.
Yeah, you thought I was done? No, I'm here for you. And then he pretty much kicks Satan in the face, takes his people, and leaves. And the people who thought they killed Christ shows up 3 days later and says, I'm here.
How trippy would that be?
They thought they had the whole city come and beat down this person, make sure he was dead, or they thought. And then he comes back 3 days later and says, I'm here.
You're right.
I mean, that's a huge. It's just like, what else can I do?
Jesus came back and didn't even use doors no more. He was just like, I'm done. They was out there in the upper room. He was just like, so, what's up? Just like,
it was such a big flex. Even his disciples didn't believe him. Like, we saw the whole city beat you, and we ran.
Absolutely
we didn't want
right.
to be there, but you're back.
No, that's a good one. Yeah, you're good.
Because it's just like, you didn't dunk on someone. You you let them kill you, and then you came back and like, I'm not dead.
And then he left the scars and everything too, just to show you, because that's a good part of it.
Yeah, he left the scars saying like, you thought.
He's like, oh, you thought I was playing? Go ahead, put your finger through there. Go put your finger through there. Call him Doubting Thomas. That's a flex. He could have just been like, nah, just take my word for it. No, go ahead. You want to see my feet? You want to see my side? It's all there. Like, and then, another part of that, you're on one.
Oh, go ahead.
Because not only did he flex to everyone on the outside, he came back real smooth, pulled Peter to the side, and was like, so I heard what you was talking about. Basically, I heard what you had going on at that watering hole. So we good. We straight. And that's an even cooler thing, because it's like when somebody does you wrong and you can just come back and just say like, hey, we good. That's dope, man.
And these are just a couple of flexes shown by Christ, but it just shows you that in this walk, Christ ain't weak. He ain't a punk. He shows you he ain't a punk. He let you think that you're winning. He let you think you won, and then he comes back just like
even better.
Like you thought. and then you're just like, oh, you don't know what to do.
I feel you, man. Well, it's coming. It's pretty long, so I don't know. How long did you expect these to go?
I mean, we're about to wrap it up right now, but once again, this is the G.P.S. podcast, and
God's place steps.
and we're just here to help you and help ourselves navigate through this world that we live in today. And I'm inviting you guys that are watching this right now, if you guys have any questions, any topics you guys want us to talk about, send them through Facebook, send them through the social media, and we'll answer them. Because that's what we're here for. It's not just to hear a talking head, to hear me preach, to hear Keon preach about stuff that you guys don't want to hear. We want to give biblical steps through real life problems, your guys' problems.
And remember, your destination is in the sky.